Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are continuing the Manderville quest line in A Realm Reborn. As you see, Zora is back with us, but she's decided just to sit this out until we get to the Heavensward one, which is where she currently is in the quest line, and where I am too if I wasn't doing New Game Plus. So, she'll be around. She might be making fun of us. We'll see. But let us press on. All right, we are live. Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. Oh, bugger me with a broadsword! It's the gentleman of Light's adventuring companion, and the catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. The gentleman of Light. We need to punch him.
Yes.
Oh well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light. Tell me, what tales did you spin to the Sultan's sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that gentleman of light standing tall and triumphing that day, it moved me to the depths of my soul. Like I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildibrand. The Sultan's sworn were impressed with my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Have they escorted you out into the desert and tried to kill you yet? That's what they did to me. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cor, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do. It's the least I could do to help the mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Felice. She's one of the Sworn's best, and something of a history buff, it seemed. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, aye? I'm gonna touch everything. Pleasure to meet you, Felice. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case, and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion here the Warrior of Light, yes? You know him? As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the inspector too. The inspector too will also welcome a helping hand. Wow, I can't read today. The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Uldah's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Briarden, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, a moment, if you would. Right there. Very good. Now, face me and don't move an ilm. Inspector, what is that? Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector! The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldah, the last of the 4 lost relics of Belladia? I fear not. I've pored through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. That is almost the exact words of the opening for the original Final Fantasy.
Oh.
The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Beledian heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play into the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Beledian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on their lookout for any suspicious personages. The blackguard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors. Let alone the treasures within. You have my word, milady. You're the thief. I bet it.
Him or that blonde guy? The one who idolizes what's his face?
I feel that guy's too much of an idiot to be the thief. He can't possibly be. But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetuated by our quarry. The Sultan's Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. Yeah, that sounds like the Sultan's Sworn. People of Ul'dah are getting murdered in the streets, but you guys are guarding the vaults instead. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dusk that is the talk of the palace. But you need not waste the supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame, that. Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel, gutted with a great sword, strangled with a subligar, mayhap? I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar turned butcher delivered to justice. How do we know he's going to kill 2 more people? That seems
That's
like
what I was just thinking, yeah.
I know,
that seems
right?
to be important information. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dusk with you. I don't know why I keep saying demasking dusk. It is dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use. And I don't know whether Ellie had a pouch on her belt before, but she seems to have one now. Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend? I like your gusto, but if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all of his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I promise that we begin by inspecting the site of that which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 Sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave clues. Cannot help but leave behind clues. Clues that will not. Why can I not read tonight? Clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let's be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious. My ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Felice's demasking dust to good use. Gate of the Sultana. And it is not related to this quest, but it is very, very important nonetheless. The turtle had to die.
I know, I was just gonna ask. I'm like, do you remember when the turtle killed us?
Oh, yes. I remember. I believe this might have been the only place in our entire playthrough where the entire party wiped. It's right here. Flowers. Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? I'm the one what put those flowers there. To honor the memory of my poor boy. You dare defile his memory? A thousand pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place. Run away while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy. A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. Not nonsense. My boy. History. Or have you not heard the rumors of the Sildee? Aye, Old Oz sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by a Sildian alchemist, one with the power to turn the living into the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The traitors spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotting flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan's sworn. Thal alone knows why. But they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay my last respects. The traitors spurn. I'd heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? A Sildin, I'm sure. And only a Sildin would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sildid died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, yes, they did. They did! I'm not sure this is actually the mother or just some crazy person. But he calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Huh? Huh? Heard the tales from my own great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Belladia and the powers they hold. The power to exact justice. A specter of Sildee was working to wreak vengeance on us. Woe! Woe unto us all! Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books and never so much as breathed the accursed name of Sildee. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed! Doomed!
How many times did she just say that word?
Enough.
I guess she is doomed.
Sounds very fake.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's the Phantom.
Possibly, but well, could be, I guess. That bleeding Horson's here somewhere. I could feel it in me follicles. Oh no, Elazar lost his hair again. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen. Aye, that it was for all of a fortnight, afore my flowing locks fell out all over again, and just as I was chatting up the lovely young lass at the quicksand, just a twist the knife and extra ilm. Montbank, charlatan! I'll find the so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls.
Does that include my really soft ears?
He'd have trouble reaching my hair. I'm very tall. Hildibrand is on to something, or at least he thinks he is. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds upon the fruits of my flawless deduction. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the specter's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturgist Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge of the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sidi might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Briarden. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. Nashu? Not gonna follow him this time?
Yeah.
And I will admit, when I did this quest, I had forgotten where the Thaumaturgist Guild even was.
That's funny.
Gods be good, you're the adventurer who saved me back at the ruins. Researching the ancient feud between Ul'dah and Sidi, are you? Well, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further, still to the birth of their mother nation, Beladia. The Fifth Astral Era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused the catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Beladia some 8 centuries agone. Ah, imagine a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Beladian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be. Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Sidi. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sildin alchemists devised the most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightening formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors. Mm-hmm. Don't surprise me like that. What is this? You're here not for your studies, but to learn of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Sildee? 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold is Ul'dah, weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Sildee, weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the two nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought of Sildan knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear. But riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories? And what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sildee, Ul'dah and Amal-Jah warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Sildee. As a fellow student of history, though, I'm more than welcome to the conversation. Beladian civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Sildee. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. Oh, he's right here. Hello, Hildibrand. My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review, and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great nation of Billadia. Giving rise to the sibling nations of Ul'dah and Sildee, the two nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Sildee employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to a once unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Sildee, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildeen statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem, and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of his grave yourself. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and specters, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildee. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. The Sildeen connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Belladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had the most frightened air about him. Wait, yes, it's coming to me, of course. My keen investigator's senses ring with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Gugaria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? Yes. If you've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter for the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions. Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces. Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got time or patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits. I thought I recognized that voice. Lady Dorilda. Well met indeed. Pray tell me, what brings you to these environs this fair morning? Why, I live here, you ham-headed half-wit. Inspector Briarden, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Gregoria, we can discuss business after. Pray lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. But Lady Dorilda, what about... Ah, yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prize pieces from Esteme's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ul'dah myself? I'll say it just once more, Gerdergia. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket. All right, all right. I'll tell you what I know. But you didn't hear it from me. Got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The traitor's spurn, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me thinking. Sildee, 5 victims. Aye, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with that name. Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ul'dah-Sildee conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? Balls, don't you make me say any more. I've got a family to feed. Very well, just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find him? Hob. His name is Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to sail for Limsa with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes on the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how all that works. Hobbs got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had all been zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next. Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of the parley has procured for us a keen morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry. The man's life is in danger, even as we speak. I think they might have gotten him.
Oh, it kicked us back. We gotta come.
Where'd it drop you?
Horizon.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll wait till y'all get here. I will admit I don't remember it doing this when I did the quest beforehand. But of course, I did it by myself, so it wouldn't have kicked anybody back anywhere.
True.
Keep in mind, I can't see you guys, so when you're here, let me know.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're here.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, it just got me started in there. I didn't even click anybody.
Yeah, that's what happened. Is I flew down the tunnel and I'm in a cutscene. So,
Yeah, me too.
Master
go ahead.
Master Hob, is everything quite all right? No, stand back, Ellie. Hunger. I hunger for your brains. Damn, there's no saving the man. Do what you must. I like how that fight happened entirely off screen. Like, it's just a zombie. This Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. Could seem we were a few moments late to the scene. A message, and then there was one. There it is again. Is something the matter, Inspector? Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense, a sense that someone or something is watching us. The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let us return to the report. Let us return and report our findings to Miss Felice. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may lead us to the final victim. I too had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector, I'll go with her. If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. And she knows better than to yell at Nashu because Nashu carries explosives everywhere she goes. Miss Ellie, there's something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe, and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when that fiend took aim at my own life. Your life, Inspector. Oh, at Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it?
I like that we all turn away.
Yeah. I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me. A secret vow? Oh, consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now, let us be off. Miss Felice awaits our report. Fourth victim? All have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of a connection to the other victims? The Arbiters of Truth? No. No, it cannot be. Somebody help! Miss Ellie? The voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry. Miss Ellie, are you hurt? That man. I only thought to ask him a few questions. Before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only... Bash his brains in with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Ha! Remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you? She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of a Sultan-sworn squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss. The thief of many faces. To think we would find the man like this. Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this sachet to you, Miss Felice. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proves superfluous to my cracking of the case. While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy? It's the red-headed guard. What is the meaning of this? Ingenious. A double disguise. Planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt. This is Geig, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief would so easily elude his grasp. Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Yeah, where did Ellie go? Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? No, that's impossible. Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for his burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... Milady, the vault has been breached. The wise man's whisper, it's gone. For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody. And now the game is truly afoot. Ah, what is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? And just as we were about to make our triumphant return. Isn't that so, Enkidu? Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw. I think it was just a dormouse. To think he'd literally stumble face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. Thanks, Braven, and welcome to the stream. Not even the shockingest turn of events will deter the famed agent of inquiry. My ever-loyal associate, we must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely, if confronted by her constant companions, she could still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Felice, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men. But all for the better. Shall we conduct this search together? I fear that would only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than Hildibrand Me. Mind you, it's not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had opened and that I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies and that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Sworn, I was deemed to be in particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. To think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence could cause no harm, until such time as the killer is apprehended. Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Felice, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant? Inspector, over here! Ah, there you are, Nashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you. I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went over to take a look. Now there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really cute dormouse, you see. It just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just... Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector's sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Let us split up and canvass our surroundings. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Be wary and be warned. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Trust no one, and your friends all the less. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of demasking dust. In the next instance, you feel an intimidating presence behind you. Oh, if it is not my beloved son's staunch companion. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you? Oh, so your pursuit of the thief of many faces has taken quite the unexpected turn, and now you have come upon a series of anonymous letters? Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend. Or is this just but another trap laid by the fiend? Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville man. That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would not be pleased.
And where do these guards all of a sudden show up from?
They're Sultan sworn, they're useless.
Gotcha.
If the sender speaks true, the villains even now lurk within our midst, and yet we have but a single sachet of demasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the imposter beyond reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I. What say you have a few words with each of them, and see if aught seems amiss. Am I doomed to share the fate of as the others? I'd sooner die than become one of those things. Miss Ellie is the phantom thief. It is the only logical conclusion, and yet I cannot help but feel that other truth still evades us. Inspector Briarden told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the phantom thief all this time? She sure fooled me. Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say. It stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if it were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse. Curses. This one's not half the fool the sun is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence. I questioned the Sultan sworn outside. To a man, they insist they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father, what brings you here? Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you would kindly stand still and shut up, the fiend already stands among us. Inspector Briarden, I should hope you are not doubting me. While I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy, the fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities. An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder here that the Warrior of Light here found earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another sachet or two lying about, would there? What remains of our supply is already distributed to the search party. But worry not, they should be reporting back within a bell's time. Ha! Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be. I fear this is more time than we can afford. Miss Felice, fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes. We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has only passing interactions with my dear father, we could safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and the Warrior of Light. Nashu and I in particular have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning my own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I. Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything. All the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense. If he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown. My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is as if we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever loyal is truly my ever loyal assistant. She should have no trouble completing my thoughts. I'm a Manderville man? Doing what only a Manderville can. From the peaks of Kurthis to Thanalan, Manderville. Man, you're the best, Inspector. A perfect score. You may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu. I've never loved you more than I do now, you marvelous muttonhead, you. Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you've picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours. Wrinkles? Wrinkles? Look who's talking, you crusty, cretinous old... genius, Inspector? The charade is up, Miss Ellie. Miss Ellie, you look somehow different. Who is this unfamiliar woman, and what secrets does she hold?
It's a very appropriate reward.
I didn't even notice. Actually, I've already...
Glamour Dispellers.
Yeah, I've already completed the quest, so I don't get any rewards anyway, so...
Yeah, Glamour Dispellers.
Ah. 7 Hells, done in by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers. Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet... Consulting Inspector Briarden, once again you fail to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood, my beloved sister, and my eminently capable partner in crime. 1,000 faces I may wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Ceci. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite all right? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no specters. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sildon aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find 2 sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show, oh, and those priceless relics, was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I needed to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of this nation. We owe a lot to you, truly. Why, without those tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we could never have risen to the heights of celebrity. Miss Ceci, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask thee one thing, and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all your schemes? Justice. 400 years ago, old Don dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify these foul deeds will suffer the same fate. Wait, the histories say that Sildi was turned their own men into zombies. The histories lie, and you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. It was Ul'dah that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder, and wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie. What is this madness you speak, woman? Not madness, truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Ul'dah army 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed sultan sworn would kill to keep buried deep in the sands of Thanaland. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long, you and everyone in your rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors my ancestors knew. And just what do you mean by that? Oh, how the idiots lap up the stories. A masked crusader for justice, a dashing rebel waging battle against power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. Howdy, Kyle. Welcome to the stream. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out on the streets. In the last days, before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Ul'dah vaults, hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with powerful magics. The sole means by which this vault may be opened? By assembling 4 secret relics from Beladia, 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sildee, before the Ul'dah dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. I just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you were there when zombie powder rained down on Ul'dah. Oh, no wait, you'll all be dead. Preposterous. But first you, my dear. You will not even have the pleasure of looking upon the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all of your rotten lies. I think not, Miss Ceci. Hildibrand! You idiot. Just for once, could you not get in the way? Godbert Manderville. I can't even trust your sorry arse to look after him for a day.
That's mommy, isn't it?
I knew it. That presence watching over us from the shadows. It was you, my dear wife. Am I to understand that you were Hildibrand's mother? Aye, this is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself. The time of our final confrontation is nigh. Do you have potatoes for brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse if you hadn't bloody noticed. You. Hildy's told me all about your your hijinks together. Pleased to meet you. My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak. What can I say? I can come on a bit too strong at times. But can you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry-ass husband there. And look where that got me. You'll help me out, won't you? Okay, I love that nod.
Mm-hmm.
Was yours squeaky too?
Yes.
Okay.
You're like, yeah, of course I will.
Absolutely.
Don't hit me with the frying pan, please.
And apparently somebody dislodged Gilgamesh from the wall. The frying pan is also a Final Fantasy reference I will explain later.
Okay.
Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him. He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy. A phial of holy water. The ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversoul rags and a phial of twice distilled water. Scent God of the market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure from a trader by the name of Guest. Now hurry. Once the poison spreads through his veins, no antidote will save him. In the meantime, I will search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashi is still alive. Ugh, that smarts. Ye gads, Hildy. You're looking none too hearty yourself. No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now, are you going to accompany him here and make yourself useful, or do I have to reintroduce you to the wall? But of course, m'lady. Gilgamesh is ever at your service. Sent to got sundries, was it? Come now, there is work to be done.
Somebody tie the girl up.
I-
Cuff her, whatever.
I'm hoping that Julian here will just stand here, and if anybody moves, bash them again.
Bonk, yeah.
But in Final Fantasy IV, one of the main characters is Yang, a monk of Fabul. And at several points in the game, he is knocked unconscious or in need of otherwise being encouraged. And in those cases, you go visit his wife in Fabul, and she gives you the frying pan she uses to knock some sense into him. So, you just track him down, and you smack him with the frying pan. Oversoul rags, you say? I fear that I haven't a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for. But my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly mine own as well, hangs in the balance. I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal. Ah, and you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice? Hell, look what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets. As it happens, I just returned from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for the day. If it's chimera membrane you seek, you're more than welcome to a share. My lady, you are far too kind. Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and the Warrior of Light here, I'd still be tag teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. And I'm a woman who pays her debts. I'll take me if that wasn't Avala the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've half a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her. A kind sentiment, my good man, but we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, aren't we? And with this, our task here is done. Now, let us find the traitor named Guest. I would just
walks so weird.
I would just realized I think they might have used Gilgamesh's model as the basis for Xenos' original model. Remember how he walked in Stormblood in that massive armor he was wearing?
Yeah. Wait, where are we going?
I'm just going where the icon is. It's near the Chamber of Rule.
Well, I had two others showing up, so I was just wondering.
I had to slap my paladin commander on my way past. I do like that they let you slap NPCs. Thank you, game. The blundering Manderville boy is on his last legs and you need something of mine to save him, you say? Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care. Those bloody Mandervilles are richer than the traitors themselves. Yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gill for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier, wealthier man. And now I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents. Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death's doorstep. After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget, but it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the seven seas. I beg you, my lady, may I have this dance? What a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance? Heavens, the poor inspector. Well, if it isn't the Lapis maiden in the flesh. What say you bid farewell to preening fops and scruffy adventurers and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty? Why, it would be a pleasure and an honor both, my lord. Provided you first provide my good friend with the bottle of twice distilled water that he seeks. Do it, or we feed you to the chicken. You know this man? Bah! If that is what the price you would set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gill anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella? I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival, but to think he was so beloved by so many. Clearly this realm would dearly mourn his loss. Quickly, let us deliver these goods while there is still time to save him. KJ, you were right. Unless they've arrested her and taken her away, she ain't here.
Yeah, could what's her name have been the sister? No, she was trying to kill her. Never mind.
I trust the two of you wouldn't dare to come back empty-handed. Bloody brilliant. Aye. I'd take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband any day. Now, stand back and let me show you there's some real Manderville home cooking. Foul, you bloody bugger, guide my skillet. Hey, that should stop its spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush what's left out of his system. Don't worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him. Look who I found. She was slumbering obviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane. Boy, did that nap feel good. Yes, I'm sure it did. Word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Silden ruins. We must go there with all haste. You've done well by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of old Da is at stake. My strength is yours as well. For old Da, and our friend Hildy. You remind me of my husband. What with you having more muscles than sense? You're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is key to fighting off zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates should so should suffice. I'm a warrior, not a... Yes, milady. I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. They are both, to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends tried and true. But alas, not I. No, only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. You are a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels, but you will never be Enkidu. May my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even he could not stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words, and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu! Gads! What was that flash from the heavens? It entirely blinded me. And what? The crystals! Where have they gone? Fancy meeting you here, old friend. That voice! Could it be? My faithful companion. Why must you always make me wait so? Julia would send you on your way. What are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Let me jog your memory. There's a moonsick maid digging around at the Sildan excavation site with her mind set on turning Old Da into a land of the walking dead. Your concern for Hildy is most touching, but don't worry. Mommy dearest isn't going to let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily. I begin to detect the problem the two cities might have had with each other. If the ruins of your sister city are within eyesight of your city, you might be a little close for comfort.
Indeed.
Unless it's a case of when they split the kingdom in half, they split the city in half too.
They brought her here. She's going to get away.
Almost certainly. We've managed to track down Miss Ellie just up ahead, where your friends watch over her as we speak. Yet, no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses to so much as answer. Needless to say, we considered physically incapacitating her, but the crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with traitor's spurn. One misstep and the consequences could be dire indeed. You're our only hope. Even in her single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth to where your voice may be heard and call out your friend's name. I beg of you, surely if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it's you. Put the chat mode in say, use your keyboard and say Ellie and convince your erstwhile friend and companion to listen to reason. I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much as think of interfering, I'll not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you, after all. Consider me disappointed. Your sister Ceci is already in custody. Surrender now, and I will see that no harm befalls her. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Ceci and I have no family, no friends, no fortune, nothing. Two sisters against the world, with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. Yes, over our own wretched lives. You see now? Anything I might have once had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down or suffer the same fate as the Uldan dogs you would defend. Ellie, stop this madness. I'm sorry, Inspector. There's too many of them. All a day's work for a Manderville man. I think you need that goldsmith hammer, KJ.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
You only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only with Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortune that you could have made it this far. And he's as good as 6 falms under. Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say, underestimate Hildy, and you do so at your own peril. I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effects of traitor's spurn. I fear the good inspector's luck has finally run out. Balls. Is there no end to them? I'm not liking our chances, Greg. I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it? It's a shame to lose you. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served our one last purpose for us. Go forth, my zombie minions. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in a righteous glare. Bugger me with a broadsword. Are my eyes to be believed? That pose. No, these are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They're 4 gentlemen of light. Just so, my good man. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Did you miss me?
Clear off the bald head.
Aye, we meet again, girl. Tell me you've got me some Snurble tonic, or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I've ripped them clean from your bloody head. Oh, hello, Mr. Elazar. Cora, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. Impossible. The holy water couldn't have cured him. It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder. When we heard that Master Zombibrand was at risk of joining the actual dead, we knew we had to take action. Immunity to... I'm just going to pretend this makes any kind of sense. The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself. It's over. It's all over. Inspector Briarden, you said there was something you would tell me when this was all through. I imagine you have no words for me now. Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said that you had lost everything and everyone you had to lose, did you not? As for me, I have found someone with whom I intend never to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your jail cell a free woman, I will be there. What say you? Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspirations cast upon your ancestors. You said that the nation of Uldad was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I cannot deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I will do everything in my power to bring the truth to the fore. Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me. If you're quite done playing cloak and dagger, I require his presence for a matter of far greater importance. Aye, the time for our long-to-delayed confrontation is nigh. Why the long face, friend? Aye, but mayhap this will have you singing a happier tune. Could it be? The treaty blade, and the true one at that. None other, and I have not the slightest intention of parting with it, save to the one who will defeat me in single combat. But I misspeak. It will not be single combat this time. Is that my cue, old friend? I'll be merciful. What is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent? Abomination? I'll thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. But 'twas the most curious thing. There I was, hauling a crate full of crystals for Hildy's mother, and thinking how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu were here. Then came a flash from the heavens, and the next thing I knew, there she was. By the gods, it makes perfect sense. Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartful plea, summoning forth his friend. Nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu. And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic. You may have bested me in the past, but facing the two of us together will not prove so easy a task. And yet, I trust you will not shirk from the challenge. Aye, Enkidu and I shall await for you at Amdapor Keep. "'Tis a ways from here, but for what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the Trinity Blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the skies!" Two against one? That's not very gentlemanly of you, Greg. Come, to Amdapor! This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once. Yeah, we're right here. We're good. Oh, but of course, I had near forgotten we had the Warrior of Light in our very midst. Please, you are the only one who could slay the primal and reclaim the blade. I love the posing posse of zombies back there.
Mm-hmm. I just need a moment.
No problem.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Is that you? Pray forgive me. I was right on Greg's tail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention. I will be concluding my investigation forthwith, but in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal friend in my stead? Together, we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave. Yes, just go on ahead. I'll be along directly.
Of course.
Zora,
Yes.
about to run a trial here. You want me to kick you from the party, or do you want to switch to a combat role?
Go ahead and kick me from the party. Kick me out! Do you want me to leave?
I just kicked you. You're good.
Okay.
I almost didn't unsync though. That would have been bad.
Yeah. Well, a quick wipe and then restart.
Well, probably something like a 20-minute wait. I doubt this one gets run very often.
Oh, I could have jumped in.
No, we're fine. All right, KJ, bring down Enkidu first.
All right.
When I tried to do this, I focused on Gilgamesh and spent about 10 minutes getting turned into a chicken over and over again. Actually, just one moment before we begin. Emo, do you remember where the feature to automatically skip cutscenes is?
It is in character configuration.
I see
Under
it.
general tab.
Yeah, I see it. Since I skipped the cutscene after this fight the first time, so I've disabled it, so maybe I'll be able to see it again. Me? Run away? Ha! I was but seeking, and I didn't get better at that. But enough exposition. Now we will fight like men, and ladies who dress like men. For Gilgamesh, it is transmogrifying time.
Go, Power Rangers.
The mightiest warrior ever to grace Eorzea stands before you. By which I mean I, Gilgamesh. Prepare yourself. Okay, I feel a little bad, because when I fought him the first time, I didn't even notice he had multiple limbs.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, he looks like that Hindu god Shiva. I think it's Shiva. Except for he's 2 arms too short.
To think that my full complement of arms would avail me not.
No, he's got 8.
No more hijinks from Gilgamesh. You have my word. The Treaty Blade 2 I shall return, just as soon as I remember where I hid it. Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled puissance.
I thought he was using it, not hiding it.
I doubt it's a very powerful sword. Not. Ha! I lied again. You could take that fussy old blade for all I care. I thirst for true power, and not save... Warrior of Light, you have proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weapon. For as sure as the day follows night, the hour will come when I claim it as my own. Till we meet again. Alright, now to re-disable cutscenes. And now we do it again, so KJ can get the chicken. I was very tiny, yes.
It kicked me out of the area, and then the little thing came up that said that it's gonna be locked here in 15 seconds. I was like, oh my god. That's funny.
Oops. I noticed I was still in the the say, so I was like, oh, let's put back guild. There we go. Or I mean free company chat.
It's a guild. It's the same thing.
I know.
What ho? Have you seen Greg and his oversized avian companion? Lead me to them at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together. The battle has already been won. That is triumphant news indeed. Clearly the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this you say? The treaty blade lies hidden somewhere in the nearby wood? Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again? You can't see it through the trees.
Right.
What news of the primal and the treaty blade? Remarkable. I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let us hope that the Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade. Such design, such craftsmanship. At once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I have found the inspiration for my next masterpiece. Of course they're beautiful. They were the greatest treasure of Lost City. To think that they were locked away in the vaults of those that destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud. Just how did you come to know of these long-lost relics? There was an ancient scroll passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 warriors of light, their 4 relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh. Alas, speaking the words had no effect. Only a warrior of light can yield the power, or so the legend goes. Ah, what I would have given to see it. The ultimate achievement of the greatest mages this realm has ever known. And what sort of incantation is this? The ring cast opens the door of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azima's virtues shine down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the warrior of light would then hold forth the treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ on what happens next, but all speak of the great holy radiance shining down from the heavens. Over here, friends. Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant. Behold, safe in my hands, none other than the treaty blade, and the real one this time, I swear it unto you. Yes, yes, just like that. I swear unto you, then. My word, whatever is this odd tingling sensation? Ridiculous. Hildibrand isn't a warrior of light. He's just a fool who thought he could stop the lesser moon with his own bare hands. It would seem the treaty blade is just as confused as the rest of us. No, the light. Someone stop it! I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon. Skyward ho! Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed. And so the light of justice that shone from the treaty blade banished the shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I must say, I never expected to be quite literally a beam of light. I suppose it wouldn't have been much use to us after all. Inspector! Oh, Inspector, wait for me! Balls, Hildy. First you die at your poor mother's feet, and now you fly off to God knows where without even giving her a kiss goodbye. Oh, it appears that a case of wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Mandermill man before him. Godspeed, my boy. When the day comes that you tire of mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you the family art. So in the end, the Sildin incantation of legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light? Well, the treaty blade is some 6 centuries old after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be.
Pun intended.
Indeed. Absolutely intended. The magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Belladia. It was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. To think I would see it with my own eyes. Nothing short of a dream come true. He bumbles and stumbles through yet another case, and still he manages to make a girl's dream come true. A gentleman to the end. The bloody bastard. What's this? A glint in the corner of my eye? A curious scent? Wafting in on the winds from the far-flung land? Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there. And thus concludes the Realm Reborn Hildibrand questline. And you guys got a new title, a new pet, and set of clothes out of it.
And an emote.
Oh yes, we must not forget the emote. For a second there, Emo, it looked like your character switched to hands on hip posture. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, do we want to proceed onto the Heavensward one, or do we want to do something else tonight?
I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm good with whatever. I don't have any alternate ideas.
Do you guys want to do a couple maps?
Oh, we could
Or
do that.
even finish our books?
Both those things are good things.
I still can't believe nobody got a map for a map dungeon for their book.
This is true.
Oh, and Zora and I aren't going to be here Sunday, so when we would normally maybe do the maps. So
True.
that's a good
True.
idea. We could
But-
do that tomorrow too, but whatever. It's fine.
Might also be a good idea to go ahead and unlock the last level 90 dungeon that we haven't unlocked, since we do still all need a level 90 dungeon on our books.
Yeah.
Question is which one is it and how do we do it? Okay, we have to have done the Dead Ends, Smileton, Alzadal's Legacy, and the Stigma Dreamscape, which we have not done. And so we unlock that with a quest that we all have, where no Loporrit has gone before.
To the moon! Is that where we're going?
Possibly, but not quite yet. We're going to Charlian first.
Okay.
I still find it funny that this Aetheryte drops us in a fountain. Even though apparently we're standing... Well, it looked like I was standing on the water, but no, I'm knee-deep in this water.
I need a moment, please.
No problem, Zora. Back to regular clothes. Okay, I was very confused there for a second. I was just standing here, and I see someone's feet fly by at the top of my screen. Apparently, it was just somebody flying by using the Magitech hand mount, but all I could see was their feet.
That's funny.
They actually appear to be doing circles.
If we get to it or not, I guess.
Oh, did you throw a map over in Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. We should be able to get to it. I don't expect this to be a long quest line.
I'll be back. I'm here, I mean.
Alright. We are at, unless you've already teleported in. We are at, what is this place? Aporia in, Labyrinthos.
Are you at that Aetherai, or did you guys go down to the where
Yeah.
the quest is?
Yeah, we're just at the 8th, right?
Oh.
Or are you already down there? Okay.
Well, I started to fly down there. Because I went to the other one.
Gotcha. It is not this quest here, so proceed on to the lift operator. I knew you'd come. Clearly, we have inquiring minds and a crushing need to we have inquiring minds and a crushing need to be of use in common. Any road, I am pleased to report that the Ragnarok has already been prepared for our journey. A journey that fortunately will not require the massive quantities of ether that were necessary for our previous voyage beyond the stars. How can this be, you wonder? Hells if I know. Whether it is a parting gift from Mother or perhaps the manifestation of Meteon's true desire, this vessel is strongly connected to Ultima Thule. So strongly, in fact, that it somehow simultaneously exists in both locations, here in Labyrinthos and out at the edge of the universe. Is this making more sense to you now? No? Well, it matters little. What matters is that we can get to the other side and see what is troubling my dearest probe. On that note, let us be off.
Love her explanation.
Does it make sense? No. Does it need to? Absolutely not.
And when do they become player characters? Another bunny race.
I just want a minion.
Hey, will the does that little blue star bird drop in here? The pet.
It drops in one of the dungeons.
Just a second.
It looks like Meteon in the little bird form.
There is a pet that drops in this dungeon, but it's not that one. Didn't we get the Meteon pit?
No, it wasn't an automatic give, which I'd hoped.
Yeah.
I think it should have been.
I agree. I would imagine it probably drops in the dead ends. Just a moment, I'll check.
I've seen it a couple times, and it's kind of on the expensive side.
Yes, Starbird drops off the final boss in the dead ends. See? The Ragnarok exists here just as surely as it did, and does, back in Labyrinthos. With the vessel forming a conduit of sorts, we may also easily teleport between the two locations. Convenient, wouldn't you say? Precisely because the locations are so indelibly connected to each other. However, I fear that whatever has triggered my probe's distress signal has the potential to threaten Labyrinthos as well, and so I would investigate without delay. Let's see now. It would seem the distress signal is coming from base Omicron, not far from here. Let us hope that my automaton friend can enlighten us further as to the situation. Oh, we needed to go much higher. Apparently, I inadvertently hit the floor of the world there. Ah, this is my precious reconnaissance automaton, and yet it would appear this good-for-nothing bucket of bolts has gotten his oily paws all over it. Pray stand by for a moment while I give it a good talking to.
They can just come through the thing. That's not good.
You miserable sack of sockets! What in heaven's name do you think you're doing with my oh-so-valuable automaton? Completing logic circuits. N7000 categorically denies the accusations of this Hirosite organism. An advanced life form such as N7000 has no need for such outdated technology. On the contrary, this unit took pity on this makeshift machine and the primitive society which created it, and deigned to issue a warning. Primitive? Outdated? I'll show you primitive and outdated, you... Wait, what's this warning you speak of? Initiating simplification. To explain in imprecise terms that your crude mind might comprehend. Sometime after the organic life form known as the Warrior of Light here came into contact with M017, the Omicrons noticed an irregularity. Specifically, a powerful burst of energy from the remnants of a lost world. No doubt a reaction to him and his companions defeating the Endsinger. Fortunately, the energy wave itself caused no appreciable damage. Less fortunately, it housed within it an encoded message from the strategic matrix known as Stigma 1. The message contained a single word, a single command. Live. That seems innocent enough. Whatever is the problem? This message reached the sensors of Stigma-4, a logistics matrix that has long lain dormant. Shocked back to life at the behest of its fellow intelligence, it has resumed its duties in constructing weapons of mass destruction. Furthermore, there is a statistical probability of 99% that it will launch a full-scale assault on your imminently detectable home planet as soon as production is complete. Going with option 1. This unit projects that this would be less than ideal. Stigma-4's production capabilities are necessary to ensure that the Omicron's existence is maintained in perpetuity. Disabling or destroying it is incompatible with the command issued by Stigma-1. Is there no way we might simply change its mind? If Stigma-4 is convinced that war is essential to its survival, could we not persuade it that an unprovoked offensive might threaten its existence even more? The grubby organic life form's proposition has merit. As a military information and operations specialist, this unit does possess the capability to rewrite the memory banks of other artificial intelligences. If this unit were to hack Stigma-4's neural core and implant the memory that such an offensive once led not to victory, but to failure and near eradication, it must logically conclude that preemptive attack is ill-advised. To accomplish this unit will access Stigma-4 and use a dimensional manipulator to generate a virtual environment simulating its memories of war. You must traverse this environment and nullify Stigma-4's expectations of victory. That sounds simple and not at all likely to get us killed. What do you say?
Question, is this the guy that helped us before?
I don't... Oh, well, which guy? The robot or...
The one robot that helped us before.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Also, side note, I said number 2, and it went exactly word for word as the way you read.
Gotcha. I'm going with option 1. Commencing Strategic Operations Protocol. All participants in the mission, please accompany this unit to the access point at once. And the pet that drops in here is a tiny version of N7000.
Gotcha. And again, number 2 did the exact same thing. Is this a dungeon or is this yeah, or this is a dungeon, isn't it?
This is a dungeon, yeah. From this access point, it will be possible for this unit to establish a communication interface with Stigma-4's neural network. You may be interested to know that this is the first time this unit has been able to perform its intended function since the day it was commissioned. This unit is honored and will do its utmost to maximize the probability of success. Are you saying that you've never actually done this before? You really had me going at your advanced intelligence talk, but at least my probe had work experience. The flea-ridden life form's evaluation is inaccurate. This unit is equipped with dynamic functionality. It simply has not encountered technology formidable enough to require its full capabilities before. More significantly, this unit has succeeded in establishing the interface with Stigma-4. All that remains is for you to enter the simulation and use whatever puny weapons are at your disposal to destroy the core that lies within. That should see the Matrix sufficiently traumatized. This unit will remain in this physical space to ensure the communication interface remains stable as you carry out the operation. And do take care. Though the environment is virtual, any pain you suffer will feel quite real. Alright. Are we ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks like we will get 80 blues and 50 reds from this.
Woohoo.
Oh, cool.
Indeed.
Matrix anyway.
Well, that's kind of what we're in here.
Blue pill, right?
Alright. After the boss's first attack, the edges of the arena will be covered in an AoE that inflicts bleeding debuff, so don't stand in it. See, side cannons. The boss will cleave the entire arena from the left or right side of its hitbox, indicated by the arrows pointing outwards. Move to the opposite side to avoid. Rear interceptors and forward interceptors. Proto-Omega bombards the entire arena in the indicated direction in a manner similar to the side cannons. Chemical Missile. All players but the tank are marked with point-blank AoEs, requiring them to spread out to avoid overlapping damage. Once they resolve, they will drop lava puddles that will debuff the player with burning until they step out of them. Electric slide. A random player will be marked with a stacking radial knockback from their hitbox. Then the boss will leap on that player, knocking everyone back. Players should move in to avoid being knocked into the walls of the arena, or use a knockback resistance skill. Guided Missile. Players will be tethered to the missiles that will slowly move towards them until they impact, dealing minor damage and dropping more lava puddles. And Mustard Bomb is a heavy-hitting tank buster. Mitigate. And that is it. Probably want to be fairly close to the thing to make it easier to avoid the abilities. Get behind it.
Oh, I needed to be away from the stuff.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to stack them.
I thought we were too. Did that not work?
You got a rocket on you, Emo.
Yeah, nothing she can do about it.
And I'm dead again.
Okay, we gotta go west.
Get behind it. Get in front of it.
What's this one?
Get to the
Front
left
desk.
of it.
I can't tell what the front is sometimes.
I know.
If it helps, the circle of its hitbox has an arrow that points to the front. Wasn't too bad.
We say that, and then we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
wipe
agree
on
on
the
that.
next one.
Or need on that.
Okay.
Sure. Well, whether that one was easy or hard doesn't hold any bearing on how the next boss is going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just like. Well, not really, I guess. Huh?
Alright. Wheel is the tank buster. Atomic Flame is a room-wide AoE. Auto Mobile Assault Cannon. The boss will return to the center of the arena and indicate where it will dash to. The boss will dash 4 times, hitting a wall and turning. Players should move to a space where the boss won't be charging through them. Wave Cannon. On the wall where the boss stops Auto Mobile Assault Cannon, it will turn and cleave the entire room from the front of half of its hitbox. Players must move to the safe zone behind the boss to avoid. Auto Mobile Sniper Cannon. The boss will dash to the north wall and drop a line AoE across the center of the arena. Orbs will appear in the AoE and over players' heads, indicating that when the boss reaches that spot, the player will be hit with a laser attack. Players should stand next to the corresponding number of orbs to avoid hitting other players with their beam.
Okay.
Yep. Not a whole lot to this one, doesn't sound like.
Snipers.
And it says it will dash 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get behind it. Over here.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
At least you survived.
Yeah, barely.
And next to your orbs.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh.
was not close enough.
Okay.
I just saw the orbs when you were saying that. I was like, what? And then I saw the 4 red all the way on the other side. Oh, that got me. Is it a real shortcut?
No.
No, it's not, is it?
Oh, now that you're here, I'm gonna let him kill me. Assuming, of course, that he can. That ought to do it.
If she reses you, will it give you that that sick buff or no?
I'm not being rezzed in combat.
Ah. But you
Well,
got it.
yeah, it did give it to me. Oh well. Not particularly important, I don't believe.
25%, so everything's good then. I think standing closer to it might help.
But when he's doing his charge attack, just watch the path on the ground and see where it ends.
Then which way do we need to face when we're have the dots above us?
You
The
just need,
dots are at a line in that red line.
yeah, you just need to go stand near where your dots are.
Okay. So I just wasn't close enough.
Yeah, it was the fact that when people were standing too close to each other, so people got hit by multiple beams. You don't want to stand in the line though.
Okay.
That was better. Still hurt, but better.
Yeah, there's no way to avoid it hurting, I'm afraid.
Too late. Oh, damn it. Well, wait a second. Whatever he's doing.
I'm getting all kinds of jewelry for specs I don't need.
Well, I passed on everything. Yeah, I got 380s now.
Oh, that startled me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah. They tied the slide. Just hit it after you guys already left.
Oh no, it's a giant eyeball boss. After roughly 5 seconds, the edge of the arena will be covered in AoE that inflicts a bleeding debuff. Don't stand in it. AI Takeover spawns one of 3 adds. An Omega Frame, the add will use Proto Wave Cannon, a cleave from 1/2 of its hitbox, and self-destruct, dealing massive damage if it isn't defeated before the cast finishes. Hybrid Dragon uses Fire Breath, a wide conal AoE, and a very short telegraph. Players need to be next to the dragon to avoid. And self-destruct, handled the same way as Omega Frame. Proto Rocket Punch. 6 adds will spawn on the edge of the arena and cast Rush. Once the cast finishes, the adds fly across the arena. Players need to find a gap between the adds for the safe spot. The boss will also transform periodically into one of 2 shapes. If the boss turns into a double helix spiral, it will use point blank AoE, move away to avoid. If the boss turns into a donut, it will fire a donut AoE, so players should move into the boss's hitbox to avoid. Mind Hack. After the cast finishes, all players receive a face direction debuff that will cause them to run in the direction listed in the relation to where they are facing once the debuff runs out. Players need to watch to see the shape of the boss takes, then prepare to face accordingly. Atomic Ray is a room-wide AoE, and Multi-AI Takeover spawns 2 of the 3 different adds from AI Takeover. It sounds like it doesn't have a tank buster, which surprises me. Kill the ad. Move away. Move into his hitbox.
Is that the donut?
Yeah, get in the hitbox if you can. Oh, I'm just automatically running now.
Yeah.
Have to look at the arrow next to you and determine which way to be turned. Oh, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
I didn't even notice what hit you.
I'm not sure.
There's some arrows and stuff, but it wasn't making sense.
Oh, jeez.
I'm down.
I'm down. Stop on you, Evo.
Can she do a mass res thing?
Oh,
No.
limit break.
The
Limit break.
yeah.
Limit break, mass res.
It's not mass res at level 2.
Oh shit, never mind that.
Getting to the hitbox.
I'm gonna die. Sorry.
No problem.
Good times.
At least this section is fairly short.
Yeah.
What with the super happy fun slide and everything.
Yep.
I actually like that. It
I
is
do
fun.
too.
Every dungeon should have one.
That actually reminds me, every April in Guild Wars 2, they add their April Fool's dungeon called the Super Happy Fun Box. And it's just basically designed to look like a 90s video game in 3D with all kinds of silly powers and weird stuff. It's a weird place. Kill the ad. Here. Get back. Into the hitbox.
In?
Yes.
I mean, okay, they
Be prepared to move in the direction your arrow points you. Incoming big AoE. Okay, incoming 2 sets of ads. Not sure which ones. Okay, stand with me. Are about to be mind hacked again. Helix, face away. Run away from him. Incoming 2 sets of ads. Back here. Get beside the dragon. Big AoE coming in. Safe spot on me. Mind hack inbound. Donut, be free to go into his hitbox. Safe zone on me. Get beside the dragon.
Ow.
I'm down.
Safe zone on me.
I can't see the arrows that I was supposed to go to.
It's an icon next to your name, KJ.
Up on my name or down here on my name?
Next to
'Cause
your
they're
name,
different
like in the
spheres.
little
Safe spot on me.
What do you call it? The little party log.
Oh,
Get
okay,
next to the
there.
dragon.
Oh, oops, I forgot to break. Oh, goodness. Sorry.
Safe zone all the way in the back. Helix, stay away from it. Safe zone on me. Get beside the dragon.
Did you not get that res?
Yeah, I did. I'm just waiting. I didn't see where you did it, so I don't know where to
Gotcha.
go.
Damn it.
Dang it.
You got that limit break there, Cat.
Which doesn't do me a whole lot of good.
Okay, I was just wondering. I was trying to get to a spot where I could use it, but then I didn't have enough life for that big AoE.
I keep forgetting the dragon is go to it. I just turn and start helping DPS and keep everybody up, and then I forget that part. You survived that. That was hilarious. Oh, well, not bad.
I survived 2 self-destructs. But yeah. Yes, my heal is kind of weird. It apparently has a very wide range. Like, sometimes I'm like down to like 20% health and it'll heal me almost to full. And sometimes it heals me for like 5%.
So it's like a random one. That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just says that it's, let's see. It says it's a cure potency of 1,000, but, yeah. Doesn't always work. Although apparently it does heal more if I try to heal one of you guys. But I ran out of magic points, so I couldn't heal myself anymore. But yeah, on the dragon, you want to get beside it. And on the robot, you just look and see which side it has the arrows on and get on the other side of that. And basically, you look for the opening in the wall of fists. But I'm pretty good at calling those out, so... But yeah, like over there on the party list, where, like you can see I have Iron Will and Regen next to my name, you will have a little red box with an arrow pointing at it. It'll be forward, left, right, or down. And that means in a few seconds, you are going to automatically run in the direction that arrow says. So
then I want to go opposite of it, right?
Depends. If you want to run into... Well, actually, you don't even want to move at all. just position yourself where you're facing or where that arrow is pointing in the direction that you want to run in just a second. So like, if he's doing the donut, you want to be that arrow to be pointing toward his hitbox.
Right.
So if it's a left, you'll face to the right
See, that's-
side of the.
That was the
Of the
thing. It
arena.
kept putting me in the donut or out of the donut.
I mean, you won't run very far. You'll run like maybe that far. So it's not very far. It's like 2 or 3 seconds of running. But
I'm already halfway out here.
yeah.
It doesn't do too much damage, and it's not an issue unless you're already low. So if you're, I'll try to make sure that we're high on that.
Yeah, the big thing that gets us is when he chains AoEs with the big AoE. So
Yeah.
but I need just one moment. I'll be right back. Remember how before stream I mentioned how hot it was in here?
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting here and saying and wondering to myself, why am I shivering? And I looked over at my thermometer I have next to my computer, and it's 64 degrees in here now. Apparently, somebody turned the air conditioning on.
Oh, 64. That's nice.
And since my door is closed, my air isn't circulating into the rest of the house. So it's just getting colder and colder and colder in here. So, but I have a coat now. I'm better. Safe zone on me.
Away, Zora.
Into the hitbox. Okay, incoming mind hack. Need to be in the hitbox when the time goes up, so point in the correct direction.
Mine didn't work. I was in it. I don't know.
Yeah, mine didn't do too hot either.
Safe zone on me. Mind hack inbound.
I'm done.
Safe zone in the back.
Gonna be down again. That was good. Chills.
Safe zone on me. Mind hack inbound. Helix, you want to be away from it?
I was not far enough behind.
Safe zone on me. Pop him, KJ. Safe zone on me. Mind hack inbound. Donut. Safe zone on me.
Woo!
Well done.
Yay.
Pluck on Pat. I hope it drops at least, you know.
Indeed. Oh. We had much less insane sheathing actions there than we normally do. No pet. Operation status, success. Stigma 4 has abandoned its military offensive. N7000 submits new orders to Stigma 4. Stigma 4 is instructed to immediately cease production of all weapons and attack units and initiate production of diplomatic hologram units. Analysis of memory data complete. Further pursuit of planned invasion is calculated to have a 99.99999924634% probability of resulting in utter annihilation. N7000's orders are deemed strategically and logistically sound, reconfiguring production infrastructure. Take that, glowing eyeball. Oh, my dearest N7000, I apologize for all those times I called you a sack of bolts. Why, you're the most impressive military information and operations unit I've ever met. This unit expresses its gratitude to the hero and the soft-looking organic life form. This unit could not have succeeded without your help. This also marks the completion of this unit's duties. With the invasion halted indefinitely, there remains no military operation or conflict requiring this unit's functions, preparing to shut down and enter permanent energy-saving hibernation. Shut down? What nonsense is this? Did you not receive an order to live just a short time ago? Eternal sleep doesn't sound like living to me. Come on, say something and set this bolt head straight, won't you? I'm going with option 2. He's right. You were told to live, and live is what you'll do. If you don't have a war to wage anymore, you can use your talents to bring a new future of peace and hope. But what are the appropriate protocols? This unit possesses little practical experience in peacetime operations. You can access Stigma 4, can you not? By interfacing with its memory banks, might you not be able to, say, find knowledge of lost civilizations? Civilizations that you might simulate for the edification of those who live now? Indeed, such a task would be within this unit's capabilities. But what about when that task is complete? Without an ongoing mission, sooner or later this unit is bound to lose its purpose. What happens then? Well, let's see now. Suppose you could always open a cafe? Back at Old Charlie, and there's a fine establishment called The Last Stand. People gather there to share food, drink, company, and reasons to meet again. He delivered his world from the brink of despair and helped people dream of a brighter future once again. What if we could do the same for the other civilizations Meteon found? This unit finds the furry lifeform suggestion difficult to process. And yet realizing accurate simulations of myriad civilizations, including those the Omicrons have not encountered, would undoubtedly challenge this unit to its fullest. It is a reason to remain active for the foreseeable future. Precisely. See, I knew I was onto something here. Speaking of here, do you know anywhere nearby that could use a good cafe? There's an empty structure that might be suited for it in the necropolis? Well, why didn't you say so sooner? Well, would you look at that? A spacious counter, outdoor setting, and a fine layer of homely gray dust. Best of all, the view of that massive dead star that Meteion was lurking in for ages, looming ominously overhead. People are gonna love this. Think about it. It's poetic. The very place where hope was nearly extinguished forevermore. Now a beacon of it. This unit has still not fully processed the concept of a cafe, but will simulate elements of lost civilizations as its ongoing mission. That'll be just fine, N7000. You focus on what you do best and leave the rest to me. I'll have you know I learned a thing or two about preparing and serving victuals and beverages in my time at the Last Stand. Not to mention that I've come up with a perfect name for our new establishment. The Last Dregs. An inspiring moniker, wouldn't you say? This unit is unable to process this statement. It must defer to the furry lifeform's judgment. I'll take that as a yes. Now, we had best get to work. There are many preparations to be made before we're ready to open for business. You're more than welcome any time, though. Oh, and please tell the other Loporits I'm not dead.
So if they ask, we just say she's busy saving us from another invasion or end of the world.
Jamming Way has opened up the cafe at the end of the universe, which is a much better name than The Last Dregs, but it's probably copyright infringement on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so.
I'm sure. But when's that stopped anybody, huh?
You have a point.
Oh, did anybody look at their books?
Hmm?
That was a dungeon, wasn't it?
Yep. I am now at 5 out of 9.
I'm at 8 and it didn't go anywhere I wanted it to.
Oh, did I fly off and leave, KJ?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Well,
Oh, where are we going? Where are you going?
I was flying out to the location where your map is.
On my way. Sorry, I was looking at my book. I didn't even think about it.
Well, my book is 5 out of 9, and I have nothing at the moment.
I'm 8 out of 9 with nothing. Although 2 spots I could. Let me get off this.
I'm going to need at least 2 in any given row to get anything.
Nice. Not that you're that. I mean, nice
Yeah.
landing. Okay, here we go.
I don't know what it means when we only get a single enemy.
Oh, 2 more. I guess actually 3 more. There's a monkey in there too, girl. Man.
That was a pretty rough one.
Excite 1 mask? What is that?
Yeah, it would appear to be a mask.
It's a
Yeah,
trans
it's kind of
thing.
interesting.
I have it actually.
So are we meeting or greeting?
I have no use for it, so I greeted on it.
I'm passing.
I greeted on it. So. Oh, Kathy, you got it.
So what you're saying is I'm going to have to build a glamour around it.
Yes.
And alas, no portal, I see.
Yeah.
Well, we are nearing end time for the stream. But if we wanted to do one more map, we could. Or we can call it here.
Which is the map that potentially has a portal?
The one that starts with a K.
Yeah.
Kumbra skin or something like that.
I've got Is it the Comber skin?
That one.
Okay, I've got that one.
Oh, I have a dragon skin one, so
Dragon skin.
level 60.
Ah. Well, I mean, there could be a dungeon on the other end of that one, too. That would just be a level 60 one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I see Zora now uses pink player names, too.
I think It's always been the case.
That has been the case. Friends are orange, but I think that's for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's actually standard. Is it just east of the Platinum Novum?
I'm not sure where the Platinum Novum is, but I think I see it. Oh, yeah.
The standard dot thing.
Yeah, just to the east of that. Yeah, you're right.
Zora, do you have bag space that I could pass things to you?
Like my things?
Yeah, yeah, the outfit thing you wanted.
Yeah.
I got a wind-up gentleman.
Uh-huh.
We all did.
I didn't realize that we got that.
Yeah, that was one of the quest rewards.
I thought it was the suit and then the emote, not pet.
I'm ready to trade when you want to. I can wait. Click.
Okay.
I'm just freeing up some bag space by throwing stuff into the armory chest. Something I will regret later, but...
Mm-hmm. I always do that I always regret it when I do that. Let me know when you're ready.
I am ready. I've been frozen. And again.
Dang it.
Alas. Just one moment and I will wind down the stream. All right, guys, that's where we're going to call it tonight. And it sounds like we might be doing Wondrous Tales stuff tomorrow, which means I may not bother to stream it. But, so I may be here tomorrow streaming, I may not. But regardless of that, I will be back on Friday with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. And have a good night.